I bet y'all wondering, who is this lady? Well, this lady was at Astro's World, the event that killed over 8 people and injured hundreds. This lady did an interview speaking on what happened, what she seen with her own eyes. But the thing about this interview, it got a lot of red flags in it. It makes you wonder what really happened there. I'm going to let y'all see the interview for yourselves and see if y'all can catch on to what she's talking about.
Um, so Madeline, can you start by telling me your first and last name, please?
Madeline Eskins.
Can you spell it for me just to make sure we have the correct spelling?
Madeline Eskins.
So tell me about your experience at the concert tonight. You know, starting just before this happened.
We got there a little bit later, probably around like 4:30 or 5 o'clock, and we got one drink each. He got a beer. My boyfriend got a beer. I got some mixed drink they were selling, and we weren't really interested in anybody that was performing at the smaller stage. So I said, let's go get a good spot for Travis Scott. This is the third time I've been at AstroWorld Festival. I was there for the first year in 2018. I went in 2019. Did not have one in 2020. So I went. So we went and tried to find a good spot at the stage, like I do every year. It was fine at first. People were sitting down trying to hold their spots in line. It was still daylight, but as that was like 6:15, 6:30. As it got closer to 8:30, 8 o'clock, people started, crowding. Got kind of tight, got kind of packed. 8:15, more crowded, more tight, more packed. We couldn't really.
So let's break her first part down. When she said how many drinks she had, she wanted us to know that she wasn't drunk. They only had one drink. She was letting us know that she didn't come to the concert drunk. She's a civilian. She's civil. So she breaks it off like that. The red flag comes in where she says it gets more crowded at 8:15. I know y'all saying, what? That don't really mean anything. More crowded at 8:15, okay. Just imagine, you're at a party. Would you look at your clock to see when it gets more crowded? Oh, it just got more crowded at 8:15. She know it got more crowded at 8:15 exactly. And when we all know, when shit get crowded, it gradually get crowded. So it don't happen at one time. But in her world, it got more crowded exactly at 8:15. Let's continue the story.
Move around a lot. We were a little bit towards the front. We were about 4 feet away from the fence to the right. There was an alleyway in between the left and right side of general admission for the photographers and for people to walk that were, I guess, celebrities and stuff, and for security. We were about 4 feet away from that fence. So at 8:30, he started a countdown on the main screen, like a timer, till he performed what it was for. And when he started the timer, people started pushing. They'd push forward, and then other people would push back and forward and back. As the timer got closer to 0, it got really, really bad. I couldn't even turn my head to tell my boyfriend anything. I mean, we were packed in there, so I had people shoving me from behind, shoving me from the front on both sides. It's getting really hard to breathe. I was trying to jump up and lift my head up so I could get air. And whenever he started performing, I looked at my boyfriend. I tried to look at my boyfriend. I only got about this far. And I told him, I said, we have to get out. We have to get out. And he said, we can't, because we couldn't move. We could not. You couldn't go forward, backwards, inside. You couldn't do anything. The only way to go was up.
I remember I was about to tell my boyfriend to tell my son that I loved him, because as it went on, it got to the point where I was like, I'm going to die. Like, I really, truly thought that I was going to get crushed to the point where my trachea was going to get crushed, my chest. I thought I was going to die. So
I fainted. I think it was, I don't even remember what song was playing. I don't remember anything. I just know that he had just started. And I fainted. And per my boyfriend and a gentleman that reached out to me on Instagram and said he helped my boyfriend, they basically crowd surfed my unconscious body 4 feet to the right to a security guard, because after trying to get from my boyfriend, he said that he tried to get your attention and you just couldn't because they were carrying so many people over, that finally him and a just good Samaritan that happened to be there lifted me up, and they just crowd surfed my unconscious body over to the security guard. I came to for a little bit and I was sitting and the fence was behind me with the crowd, and I was in that little walkway area, and I looked up and I passed out again. And then when I woke up again, I was in a different part. I was in like the VIP area, and I woke up with a bottle of water in my lap. Essentially what had happened was the security guard dropped me off and sat down and then went and ran back to get more people in and out. So once I sat there for a minute, I drank my water, looked around, there were people being carried back and forth. And then I stood up and I was about to go, look for my boyfriend. I had no phone service. I tried to call him, I couldn't call him. I look and they're carrying this guy out and they're about to set him down. And I noticed he looked really bad. His eyes were rolled in the back of his head. He was completely limp. He did not look good. I asked the security guard, I said, have you checked the pulse on this man? He said, I don't know how to do that. He's like, please help. So I checked the pulse. I did not feel a pulse. His eyes were rolled in the back of his head. His pupils weren't reacting. I shined my flashlight in there. I said, do not drop him off here to go get someone else. You need to go take this man to the medical tent. Take him somewhere. Go. I cleared the way. Another security guard overheard me say, because at first, before I told him that, let me rewind. I told him, I was like, I'm an ICU nurse. I've worked in the ED before. I have experience with this. Like, let me help. Instead of just trying to shove through me. The other security guard had overheard me tell the security guard that. So he came to me, he said, hey, we need your help up here. So he took me to the front of I think I was in the VIP area. There were 2 towers beside me that people were standing on, and also where the light crew was on either side. And I walk up and nothing could have prepared me for what I saw. Nothing. I work in the ICU. I see people die every week. When I was working in the ER, we get people coming to us that are, have CPRs in progress all the time. I saw 3 people laid out on the ground and maybe 4 medics doing CPR on 3 people. One of them was Blue, the guy that looked the worst. I ran over to the medic and I said, do you have an AED? Do you have an ambu bag? What do we have? How long have you been doing concussions? I just started asking the question. She said, I don't know. I said, has anybody relieved you from concussions? She's like, no. There were other civilians trying to help do CPR that didn't know how. Teenagers, 19 years old. I asked him how old he was. 19 years old trying to do CPR at 18. I'm only 23 myself.
All right, let's break down this second half. She literally told us she panicked without saying she panicked. When she told us, she told her boyfriend to tell their baby that she loved him because she really thought she was going to die and all of that. Her boyfriend didn't pass out. She passed out because she panicked. Twice. She passed out twice, guys. All to get up and be Superwoman. All to get up and be a superwoman. The security guard didn't know where the post was. She had to show this guy where the post was. Next, she went to the next floor to help first, she ran over there, started questioning the paramedics like she was their boss. Like, she didn't trust what they were doing. Asking them, do they have this, that, and the third? A 23-year-old nurse who claimed to be a nurse. We're going to get into that. She claimed to be a nurse. Well, Miss Nurse, I looked on your Facebook. I can't find not one scrub. Not one. All I see is horses. You look like a Houston cowgirl. Nothing on that page says I work in a hospital. Everything on that page says I'm a spoiled brat who showed up to the concert belligerent, and drunk. You can't fool me with that. You can't tell me you fell out twice to wake up and be Superwoman. You just got it all together. You just collected yourself. You were so good at being a Superwoman that night, the paramedics needed your help. Usually, they'll tell you to stand back. We got this. They needed your help because apparently they didn't know how to do their job. You was asking them boneheaded questions like they didn't know what they were doing. During a time like this, and another thing, how you gonna go from you saying you see deaths every week to saying you never seen something like this before? People passed out. Did you see something like a ghost devil worshiping type stuff? Other than that, you should have seen this before. People passed out. Near damn dead. Dead. You said you see it every week. I want y'all to go on her Facebook and check if y'all see a scrub anywhere. Anything that says hospital. I didn't check her Instagram because I don't know her Instagram. I ain't checked the Twitter because I don't know the Twitter. But I cannot find a scrub anywhere. Anything that says I work at a hospital on her Facebook. But she work in the ICU unit. I don't trust her. I don't believe her. I can't play with her. Y'all like, subscribe, and comment. I'm out.